3 uninterrupted days of reorganizing books. I've even devised a better system for organizing them. It decreases the amount of time it takes to find a book you're looking for by nearly 3/4 of a second. Why, there must be at least 20,000 books to organize. Best long weekend ever!
Nerd! Oh shit, is that Starlight Glimmer spying on Twilight talking about time travel? We are so fucked. Now well, let's get started. Twilight spends her weekend in the castle organizing books, because, you know, it's her thing, when she runs into the other girls having fun with Discord, reminiscing on a great time that they had with Twilight missing out on it. As Twilight becomes more curious about what happened, she resorts to all sorts of extremes to find out exactly what was so funny. And throughout the ordeal, she denies that her motivation is based on jealousy and claims that it's all in the name of studying friendship. Bullshit! An odd thing about this episode is that out of all the Season 5 episodes so far, this seems the most laid back. Nothing really eventful happens, it's just Twilight trying to figure out why her friends are enjoying Discord's company. With a plot like that, and even with the way the episode was made out, it could come across as a little boring for some viewers. But that's not to say it's a bad thing, since this is a slice of life episode. And it's not like the episode wasn't trying, because it still has nice jokes using visual impressions and interactions between the characters, which is something that Discord episodes have always been good at, most of the time. Twilight's dilemma in this episode at first seems like a basic gotta know by any means sort of thing while denying her growing jealousy. But her desperation in making sense of all this leads to what makes it worth talking about. Look at it this way. Twilight was the only one who wasn't there, right? By the way her friends in Discord talked about these events, you'd think it'd be very awesome to know what it was. And because it was her friends who were involved, she wants to feel like she has an understanding as to what they did, because she can't relate to the situation otherwise and feels left out. Her curiosity goes through multiple stages, from intrigue to questioning to denial to frustration, and finally admitting that she was jealous. It's not just Twilight wanting to know what happened that makes it good, it's because she wasn't there that makes it good. When people feel left out on something that interests them, they want to understand how it felt despite knowing that they can't because they have no first-hand experience in the event. Twilight wants to relate to something that happened with her friends, and that is why she's so obsessed with finding out what's going on. And when she can't think up a solution, she convinces herself that it's a trick to help her cope with not being able to figure out what it was. Of course, the episode has its nice ending where her friends help her cope with missing out and understand that you just gotta move on. You don't need to know about something that your friends went through to relate to them, you just have to be friends with them. An obvious lesson to focus on, but still a nice thing for Twilight to learn. The other stuff in the episode is also worth mentioning, beginning obviously with Discord. It's easy to tell that he's obviously trolling Twilight throughout the episode, and it turns out that that was his plan, to troll Twilight. He's just so cunning and amusingly witty as he continues to mess with Twilight, trying to get her interested in something he knows she can't understand. It's not like he did anything bad, he was just messing around with Twilight. And he comes up with an excuse for his motives that's obviously full of crap, but also has some sense to it. It's a Discord performance that has him leaving a good impression on the main characters while finding ways to annoy them at the same time. Which is a good role for Discord to occupy since he is a spirit of chaos and he's not completely on good terms with everyone. Especially after what happened last time. Of course, there's the expressive animation that works off of Discord's nature, but because the episode is made out to be laid back and simple, it ends up making Discord's powers simple too. It's all basic stuff like turning into animals, changing the forms of others, references, and simply rearranging stuff, which makes it seem less creative compared to other episodes where his powers had more variety and speed to them. But given the already basic theme of the episode, it makes sense for Discord's antics to be basic too, which helps keep the episode balanced. The background performances are good too. Discord interacting with the main six is fun, Twilight interacting with her friends is fun, but what I really like about the background performance is Spike. Odd thing, seeing as how this is the same Johnny test writer from Princess Spike, now making Spike a voice of reason to Twilight as well as being an inner foil to her obsession with the situation. Look at these expressions, you can tell that he finds this whole thing ridiculous, but he might as well stick around to see how much more ridiculous it gets. There's just something really amusing in all of his annoyed blank expressions trying to make the most sense out of Twilight's nonsense. Oh, Sakura is in the episode too, but it just comes across as completely pointless. Yeah, first actual Sakura appearance in Season 5 and it feels pointless. Why? I mean, it's not like she's in the fucking intro! And so the episode concludes with Discord's jokes about that weekend finally running their course, which is clever in a way as it allows Twilight to get back at him. He trolls her, she trolls him, and they all have a good laugh about it. I can't say that What About Discord is an episode I'd see often as it does feel too simple and uneventful, but it's still a nice episode with character interactions, silly jokes, and a scenario for Twilight to learn from. Not one of Season 5's best, but still worth checking out. MisAnthro Pony, over and out.
You didn't do anything wrong. You're allowed to share things that don't include me.
And you're allowed to feel a little jealous about it. You just have to be able to admit that that's what you're feeling, so you can let it go.
Oh, thank God. I was almost forced to make that horrifying reference. Roll credits.
Get up in the morning, feeling mighty weak, a tossing and a turn. Well, I ain't had no sleep, oh baby, what roads all I've taken to romance or heartbreaking. Won't you say which way you're gonna go? I gotta know.